Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. So today we have a very special tarot card reading, and this is a bit of a private tarot card reading. And it has to do with sort of a private topic. So we're gonna keep it kind of in secret mode here, just for the protection of the person asking the querent and the person asking the question, and try to get a little bit of clarity, a little bit of insight here. In fact, we're masking the name also. We're just gonna use the first initial, J. So J, you know who you are, and anyways, this particular question has to do with sort of, it's personal to the person. So let's just kind of keep it at that. And it's sort of like a question of when. So we're talking about time here. When is this particular event going to take place? And it's kind of a private event. And so I'm going to state exactly what it is, but we will go ahead and get some clarity on it and get the answer for you. So let's move forward with our reading here. So when it comes to time, I'd like to do kind of a full reading on this particular thing and all. Not that I think it necessarily warrants it in this particular case, but for this particular reason and all, I think it's good because it'll give us a greater overall clarity. So what we'll do is, instead of just doing a specific question related to the particular event that you're looking to get an answer for, we'll kind of do just an overall general reading and include that into the mix, so that we can kind of get some. I think it will just basically more or less give us more of a clearer, better understanding or picture of the whole thing, kind of to see what's going on with everything. So let's continue. So to do that, we're going to just do like a past, present, and future. And guys, I'm calibrated to about 3 months in any direction. So 3 months in the past or 3 months in the future, depending on the energy of the card, can kind of help me as far as, intuit sort of the kind of the exact time frame, or more or less, or closer to the exact time frame that this event could possibly happen. And it gives us perspective on the individual as well. Then what I like to do is I'll usually draw a card that has to do something with like sort of what the key or the critical element is, to this thing actually happening, or, playing out to get the outcome that we're actually desiring. And then what I also like to do is I like to look at where that present moment situation is. And then I also like to look at kind of where that person is in terms of what their desire is what are they really wanting from this? Are they wanting a sooner rather than later, or a later rather than sooner kind of, thing to this whole thing, getting this thing underway? And then finally, I look at really what the outcome is, and the outcome card and whatnot tells us a lot, but really it's that key or the kind of the answer card that really gives us more of the insight, which we come back to when we get to there. So let's continue. So the first card we have is kind of in the past. It's this King of Cups. Kings are really all about authorities and relationships. So it's kind of, and you see this here, King, it's really about emotions, having control of one's emotions, being able to take care of oneself, one's own individual kind of needs, their mindset, having a kind of strong connection to that. And relationship also plays a role here and stuff like that. Kings are really about authority. So kind of having authority or control, or being in a position where an authority or a control or something like that has or plays an influence in our life. And it's that relationship aspect and all. When you see like water and stuff in a thing, it's really representative of the subconscious. So it's really our conditioning, kind of where we come about from. It's also very psychic energy, or kind of our own intuition kind of thing and all, and really it's feelings and emotions as well. So it's kind of that side of nature. It's that side of our personality, the things that we're, constantly in fluid motion with. They can go up, they can go down. And that's how emotions and feelings and things like that often are. But in the past, we've pretty much had a pretty good control over those things. So in the meantime, in the present moment where we're at right now, we have the Queen of Wands. A queen is maternalistic kind of energy, more or less different than the paternalistic energy that we get from the king. But in this particular case, it's really about just enjoying where we're at right now in life, and enjoying the situation for what it is. It's a very sunny card. We have the sunflower, which is, the sun is actually radiating down on the queen and onto the flower, because sunflowers, as we know, they kind of, they blossom and they look towards the sun. That's one of the reasons they're called sunflowers. We also have the sphinxes, but we also have the black cat. Black cat's just kind of piercing out there, looking at us and stuff like that, sort of mysteriously and all, like kind of like, what is this thing? What is this? What's coming about here? But also we have this here action. So this particular queen is really the queen of influence, but she's also the queen of action. So taking action, often to do with like creative action, things along that line. And that's kind of where Jay is at right now. Now, as far as the future, The future is really about winning. It's about getting what we want. And that's where we see ourselves at. In this particular case and all, I'm seeing somewhere like within about 12 or 13 months, 14 months, somewhere in that ballpark. It's kind of a little bit longer out than I had anticipated. I mean, normally when I see about the calibration of about 3 months, but in this particular case, I'm getting about like somewhere in the ballpark of about, I'm picking up maybe like a September kind of energy, September or October energy. And I'm not picking up this year, but actually rather next year. So we're kind of moving in that direction. So that would just about be exactly where we said about that 12 or 13 month mark out is when we would get the outcome and stuff that we were asking about. So if you're asking about this particular question, kind of this private matter, you can expect to kind of get that answer or that effect, within about a little over a year from now. And it's not an exact science, so please keep that in mind, but somewhere that's where the energy I'm kind of picking up at. There's a certain energy for every month of the year, kind of, you kind of feel that. And that's kind of what I'm feeling. That's kind of where I'm picking it up at, but I'm not picking up necessarily this year. Could be, but it would surprise me if it was actually the case. So here we are with this, and this is about victory. So it's really about, kind of coming up on top. This is sort of a victory in our life. It's sort of like one of those thresholds that we kind of cross through where we kind of get to the next level of life. That's sort of like what this is indicating for you. So it makes perfect sense for the context of what we're talking about here. Now, as far as our answer to everything and stuff, and we'll come back to this in a minute, we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is sort of the legacy card. It's sort of like where we've reached a certain pinnacle in our life where, we can share information with other people, or it's sort of like we can kind of help other people transition into certain areas of their life or this and that. And we have that wisdom and that perspective on it. So that's really what this is all about. Come back to it in a minute, but moving forward. So we talked about that Queen of Influence and this is sort of the card that comes along with that Queen of Influence. I mean, even though we've got the sunshine and stuff like that, this is sort of like, it's kind of a nightmare for us. Like we're just not really understanding what's going on. There's sort of that fear or that apprehension or that worry or that debate in our mind that's going on. Give me just a second, guys. I'm a monk, so sometimes I have a tight schedule that I'm on. So we'll finish this up here quickly. But anyways, where I was going at with this is it's really telling us here that, what our fears and our apprehensions and all those things were, it's just really a nightmare. It's not real, though. It's sort of like we're waking up from this dream and we're realizing that, hey, life isn't so bad. We can actually have more authority, control over our life, and control over our actions and stuff like that in the present moment, as we see here with the Queen. Perfectly normal, perfectly everything is okay. So no worries on any front. Now we've got kind of where this person is in terms of like their mindset and like kind of where the thing is, and all we have Judgment. And Judgment in this particular case could be one of those things where we're feeling a sort of sense of guilt or some kind of like something like it's our fault or something like that. It's sort of like in our mind, it's sort of like, am I being punished by God, or am I being, is something, what's really going on here? Or I'm getting sort of like the raw end of the deal, so to speak. And that's kind of what the Judgment card is really all about. This is really about, kind of feeling exposed, or feeling different or something along those lines. And the truth is that you're really not, you're just, it's nature takes care of itself and all. And in this case, Mother Nature is taking care of you. Everything is going to be really good for you. We see that Queen energy, perfectly good for you. Everything is working out really nicely. And so we're going to put this card down. So just let all of your fears, anything like that, it can be abated. No worries on any front. You're in a good situation. Whatever is unsettling in your mind, you can just let that go. There really is no concern for anything. You've got those two cards. You've got that sort of that nightmare card with that Nine of Swords. That's about that inner conflict and things you're feeling. Let it go. It's really not real. I mean, don't concentrate on it too much. Like I said, you've got about a little over a year here, and then things are going to be really more of a natural situation for you. And you'll see what I'm talking about when that happens. Now, what is really the outcome here? It's a great card. We have the Emperor here. Emperor is really about law and order, and this is a natural order and progression of things. We just have to kind of go with the flow of things, and no pun intended, but we have to kind of go with the flow and make things, the best we can make them in the moment that we're in. So right now, this is really a card of like empowerment. You're feeling very empowered. Life is going to be really good for you. You have a good sense of yourself, strong mindset. You're willing to, basically play the game or follow the rules and the orders of everything and really set a strong foundation for yourself and let everything go. Let's go back to how we can get that, how we can feel that inner sense of security and strength and that inner knowledge of knowing that we're perfectly okay, everything is good, and that life is taking care of us. What is really the key or the thing to it? Well, it all goes back to this legacy card and all. You let things kind of happen naturally and all. You can kind of experience things kind of in a real way. And then later on, after you've gotten to a certain level, like after that 13 or 14 months are up, you can come back. And then when other people are having similar issues or something along the lines that you've been having, or similar feelings or emotions related to all of this, you will have the experience and knowledge to be able to help other people as well. And you'll be able to be very open with it and share your knowledge and information, wisdom, and insight with others. Anyway, so it's really the tarot card reading. So basically, to answer your question, you're looking at about 13, 14 months out, possibly even less, but it would surprise me if that's the case. Anyways, much love, many blessings. And guys, as you guys mostly know, that I'm a monk, and so I try to help people as best I can with spiritual direction. One of my services is doing tarot cards. I've been psychic ever since I was a very small young child, long before ever getting into the ministry or becoming a monk or anything along those lines. But this is just something that is followed. So this is a service that I provide. It's a way of spreading a love for God to others. It's a way of helping people. So that's kind of the agenda here. If you'd like to support this work and support kind of my service that I do to help people, you're more than welcome to do that. Just simply go to helpbydonating.com. You can give whatever donation is in your heart. If it's not in your heart, I just ask that you don't give. But if it is in your heart, please do. It does help the monks and me to be able to get out there and to do a lot of service and a lot of good work and help and all that kind of good stuff. If you haven't already done so, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification when we come on. If you have questions or if you'd like to ask a question or something like that, often I have the time. I can go ahead and get those questions answered for you live and on the air, and it's always a lot of fun. So become a part of the community. Chime in here. It's always good to have comments and feedback from people and all. I try to keep everything really positive, and I try to be, a good steward and just do the best I can for humanity. So much love and many blessings. If you guys need anything, please reach out. All of my information, you can contact me, how to get in reach and everything like that is all in the description below this video. Also, that website, helpbydonating.com, is also in there as well. Guys, I'm pressed for time and I really love you all. So please, much love, many blessings. If you have any questions, please reach out.